Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
Do you know any conspiracies about Thanksgiving?
I don't know anything about Thanksgiving. We can start some.
Hi, and welcome back to the Tiddy and Shiner Show. It's episode 51, and it is going to be a good one because Shiner and I have been looking forward to this. This is the episode of episodes that we've been bragging about and talking about that we were going to bring to you, and we're going to bring it to you. And I'm going to let Shiner tell you what it is, but first, my name's Big Tiddy, and I love the Chicago Bears.
Good evening, my big man. Guys already know, my name is Shiner, and Tiddy is alluding to the fact that for episode 51, we're going to bring you a little definition of a philosophy that we have instituted in our life called live for the greater good. I'm going to vote right now, though, Tiddy, right out of the gate before we start this, that we go a little bit more concise tonight. Today, the day that we're dropping this is Thanksgiving here in the States. So I say we do a little short and sweet, maybe 30-ish minutes of this definition. That way people can get back to family time. They can get back to prepping their meal, but they still get a little TNS time in there too. So
right, just no politics. That's okay with zero politics today?
Nope. None.
We're not talking politics. We're not talking conspiracy theories. We're not talking,
AOC.
Yeah, AOC, and other crap that we normally talk about. This episode right here is nothing but doing for the greater good. Now, what is doing for the greater good, Shiner?
Well, here's how this started. I'm sure we all remember the Pay It Forward movement, and that kind of is what birthed my entire live for the greater good concept. Pay It Forward had one fault, if you could call it that, I guess. There seemed to be a lot of, as I do these acts to pay it forward, I get on social media, I let everybody know, they all pat me on the back, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I want to take this a different direction. I don't want it to, I do things, I guess, that could be considered paying it forward, but I don't usually tell anybody about them. I don't look for anybody giving me gratitude for doing them. I just do it for simply to perform an act that's going to better the world around me and maybe brighten somebody else's day that I'm helping out. So that basically is how this was birthed. It's something that I taught my children from a very young age that they seem to grasp. And I fully believe if I can teach 3 and 4-year-olds to grasp this concept, there's not a reason in the world that an adult can't grasp. I believe in it so strongly, it's tattooed across my knuckles as a reminder myself every day to look for those opportunities that I can help somebody out by performing a selfless act, and in turn, make their life a little bit easier and better. And the benefit for me doing that is it benefits my life in knowing that I help somebody out. So that's how this premise started, and that's what we've built on from Tiddy. Tiddy kind of bought into this very early on in our friendship, and he embraced it, and we have kind of embraced it together and molded it into something that we very strongly believe in and promote among people around us. So this is kind of our definition and something that we hope you guys think about and try to institute into your lives. I've explained before, I had a small T-shirt company a few years ago in Tulsa. One of my first T-shirts I brought out was actually a set of fists that had my tattoos across the knuckles of it. Inevitably, people would ask me about that, and I would have an opportunity to explain that philosophy to them. And I had an older gentleman tell me one day, let me explain something to you, young man. You start with an idea. One person starts with an idea. And if you get enough people to buy into it, well, then you got a movement. And if you've got a movement, you can change the world. I've never forgot that statement, and it's something that I fully believe is possible if we all do our part. So here's how you guys can do your part. And Tiddy, what do you got to add to that?
Well, how everybody can do their part is write out a check for $12.33 and send it to the Tiddy and Shiner Show, P.O. Box 4. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You can. One thing I've figured out about this entire thing, it is impossible. It is impossible to feel like shit when you do something good for somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the realm of possibility, man. I mean,
impossible to feel like shit. So if you want to have a good day, literally, all it takes is this. Just go do something good for somebody else, be it small or whatever. You will have a good day.
I'll go a step further. If you're having a shitty day, if the world is crumbling around you and it's nothing but chaos, find that opportunity to do something nice for somebody, and I promise you, it'll change your outlook on the.
It will turn that.
It won't solve all your problems, but it'll change your outlook on things. I promise you that.
It'll turn that smile upside down and backwards, and then
turn
back
that frown
again.
upside down.
Right? Yeah. I would go back and fix that, but I'm not going to. It'd turn the frown upside down. Yeah. If it turns a smile upside down, that means you're having a shitty day. So yeah. That's all right. Yeah, I'm 52, so forgive me. I take medicine for that for the greater good.
I roll with it.
Yeah, it's hard to feel crappy about yourself when you're helping somebody else out. Now, granted, if it's physical labor, okay, it's not impossible to feel crappy while you're helping somebody out. But when you're done, it's kind of like that trip to the gym. You know, the first time you go to the gym. Like, God, why did I do this? Why did I get myself into this? Blah, 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 blah. And then you get home and you're like, ooh, I got a little bit of energy. I'm kind of glad I did that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's no different. You'll feel.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, you and I, the one thing I hate more than painting walls is moving.
Oh, God.
I cannot stand moving. I would much rather pay movers to come move my crap than for me to do it by myself. However, I have been the guy to jump in when I was healthier, jump in and help people move when they needed the help. And yeah, you know, my back hurt, my feet hurt and all that mess. And I was generally feeling like shit. But boy, did it help them out a bunch. And, you know, because it helped them out a bunch, that made me feel better. You know, feeling good about yourself for doing something for somebody that's not a bad thing. You know, a lot of people say, well, that's selfish. No, that's not selfish. What selfish is doing something for somebody else, feeling good about it, and then posting it all over social media. You know, okay, now that's selfish. Now you're looking for attention. You know, you don't do this crap for attention. And we have friends.
Well, I'll throw this for you out there. Last Friday, I was moving stuff into a storage unit and had some stuff that wasn't going to go. Being that it was Friday, it was at the end of your work week, I sent you a text message asking if by chance you were in Tulsa that night. You immediately called me and said, I'm not in Tulsa, but I'm there if you need me to. And I explained the situation to you, and I barely got it out of your mouth, and you said, I got you. I'm on my way. And after the long work week you had, you jumped in your truck, you drove 40 minutes to Tulsa, and you helped me get that situation taken care of. Now, I'm going to ask you, at the end of that, did you post that on Facebook?
No.
See? I mean, there you have it. And you got a damn good set of street tacos out of the deal, but other than that, you didn't ask me for shit. And you didn't even ask me for the tacos, actually. So you didn't ask me for shit.
Well,
and
actually,
at the end of the night,
I was happy there was one thing I was happy about, and it's the weirdest thing, because everybody knows I've got PTSD. I've talked about it a million times, but I'm also OCD as well. And everything has its place. So what I got in satisfaction out of this was all the stuff that was left over. I bought a brand new pickup. That pickup wasn't 5 days old.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, I got a truck. I can do this. We go there, and I look at the stuff, and I'm like, oh, my God, that's not going to fit. The satisfaction I got was making all that stuff fit to where the tailgate would close. So, yeah, that was my internal high five. It was.
I was looking at it. I was like, this is going to be interesting. And she said, I don't think that's going to fit in the pickup. I said, Tiddy's like the ultimate Tetris player. Like, you don't understand. This is going to be pretty cool to watch. Like, he'll make it fit. So, yeah, man, that's just a prime example, man. I actually reached out to you for that help. But I've told everybody, we all get tunnel vision in our own shit. And if you leave a grocery store is the easiest place to make this happen. You leave a grocery store and you just pay attention to your surroundings. A lot of times you're going to see somebody in the parking lot that's struggling to get groceries loaded up. They're struggling in some way. And if you just check out of your own shit for a handful of seconds and go help that person who didn't ask for help, you're just throwing a selfless act at them, trying to improve the situation. 99% of the time, they're going to be thankful as all get out you did it. And you have no idea what you just interjected yourself into and got things under control for them that they may have felt like were spinning out of control. So I encourage everybody, man, maybe not the grocery store, maybe it's the shopping mall, maybe it's the farmer's market, just somewhere, man, when you're out and pay attention to your surroundings, because there's a lot of times when you start doing that, you'll see people struggling to get this or that accomplished. And if you help them without them asking you to, I'll tell you right now, man, the times that somebody's done that for me, it kind of makes me have a little bit more positive belief in humanity. Like, there are good people out there. And sometimes we all need to be reminded of that there still are good people in this world. As polarized as this country is right now, if you guys put your religious differences, your political differences, your racial differences, you put all that aside. Yes, I said racial differences. I know there's some people out there that think we're white supremacists. But you put all that aside.
Oh, we're also Nazis.
We're not. Yeah. You put all that aside and help each other. When you get down to it, man, we are all just people. And I think if more of us did that, it would kind of eventually, if we all started helping each other as humans, it would help us have a much more positive outlook on the world that we're living in.
I can tell everybody a real easy way to do something for the greater good, and you'll go back in the house with a smile on your face. You ready for this, Shiner?
Give it to me.
If you guys got some pumpkin pie or apple pie or sweet potato pie or something like that, and just a small little plastic fork and a paper plate, and if you happen to see a cop driving around your neighborhood, keeping you safe, flag him down, give him a piece of pie. He'll probably appreciate it.
Guaranteed.
I mean, it's like a donut, only it's wedge shaped and tastes different.
But other than that, it's just like one.
Other than that, it's just the same.
You guys really, man, I've been on that side of things before, and you guys don't know how far an act like that can go, man. Those guys are out there; they're away from their families on a holiday. And they don't have people tell them they appreciate them. And a small act like that goes a long ways. Probably going to put a smile on their face, and he's probably going to watch out over your house a little bit extra for the little bit of expenditure you just gave him. I don't even call it expenditure. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but. Yeah, he's going to appreciate that, you guys, and that doesn't take very much time or energy to.
No, and we used to live in a world that used to do stuff like that, and now that the world seems to be awfully polarized, and in a lot of sections of the United States, very anti-police. These guys take that oath to protect the public, to protect the greater good. Are there bad apples out there? Of course, but there's bad good people too. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've had people who have gone from being the best of philanthropists to being a criminal because of shady stuff they had on the side. So, and Shiner's absolutely right. You know, you get back what you give, and you put out bad, you get back bad too. So. I think it's important to just do something nice for somebody, and to do that to a police officer, man, you'll make their day. Police officers used to have this just immense pride of being a cop and a public servant, and now you got to watch your back. So for us to kind of show those blessings towards them might restore their faith in their own profession a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I've
talked about it on several occasions. The majority of my family has been at one time involved in law enforcement, and I can tell that small little acts like that, it does make a big impression. And those guys do a thankless job, and to give them a little bit of a thank you every now and then, they greatly appreciate that. So if you guys get the opportunity, take Tiddy up on his suggestion. And try to do that, man. Brighten their day. Because
just give the cop a piece of chicken and some pie. Just a piece of chicken and some pie. It's seriously.
Chicken.
Yeah, whatever. There's no chicken on Thanksgiving. It's turkey, probably, or ham. But you get what I mean. God, if you have a neighbor who lives alone, and they live alone, and they're not having family over for Thanksgiving, invite them over. Or if you have family and you can't invite them over, take them a plate.
Yeah. It'll put a smile on their face. I guarantee you, man.
You ain't kidding.
I guarantee you. And you can take it a step further. I'm not try to hide the fact that we just recorded a podcast before this that Donnie started pushing buttons and lost. So we're having to re-record this, and we